Welcome to the second video of today. My name is Charles E.J. Moulton, and I present to you what is spiritual transformation. Now, this phrase sounds sort of like a Star Trek episode, spiritual transformation, introduced by your own Captain Jean-Luc Picard. But actually, without spiritual transformation, nothing will work. I'll give you an example. You can wash your hands. You can take the right medicine, which you think is the right medicine, or who somebody has told you is the right medicine for your body, or somebody proves to you is the right medicine. You can run and maintain physique. You can eat perfectly. You can do everything the doctor says, put on a mask, anything, those things are good. But if you keep insulting people, if you're unhappy, if you live in an unhappy relationship, if you keep getting into emotional trouble, and you keep hiding your feelings, because actually you're feeling something, right? You're feeling something, and you're not actually honest about what you actually feel, because you're saying, okay, no, I feel something else, or somebody else has told me I should feel this. If you're like not really happy in your job, and you learn to be an accountant because your dad told you, well, you have to be an accountant because that's what I was, and that's what your grandfather was, and that's what your great-great-grandfather was, so you have to be an accountant too. And so Joe becomes an accountant, and he's actually completely miserable being an accountant. He wants to be a traveling car salesman, and he never got the chance to be a traveling car salesman because his father, Joe's father, said, well, no, you should be an accountant, because I was too. So he's not actually true about his emotional reality, and these emotions are actually his true emotions. It's his true nature, and that's what spiritual transformation is about. Spiritual transformation is true about your emotions, being in sync with your emotions. And as I said in the past video, we are living in a spiritual transformation where people are honest about their feelings and honest about who they are, or honest about human nature. What is human nature? Who are we as a species? Where do we come from? And those are very, very important questions. Quantum physics, as I told you, has discovered stuff about our nature, and I told you about that in my previous video, that we're 99.99999999999% empty space, and the rest of the matter is vibrating fields, like subatomic particles, and they all vibrate according to the way our emotions are. So the vibrations of these subatomic particles are actually the emotions, and they vibrate in a frequency that's higher, that's in sync. If you take two electrons and connect them, and you put them apart, the electrons actually entangle, and the one electron does something, and the other one is completely in sync with the other electron. We are subatomic particles, so it's logical that when we meet somebody, or we like somebody, and we're apart, like friends don't see each other for 10 years, we still know about each other, because our subatomic particles all go in sync with each other. And it doesn't matter, I have friends that I haven't seen for 40 years, but I've kept contact with them, and I know that I will actually pick up where I left off. So to make a long story short, spiritual transformation is about being in sync with everything you are, be honest with yourself, And if you're a diabetic, for instance, and it was something in your life that kicked off the diabetes, because they still don't know how a diabetic shock actually happens. They know the technique of it, but they don't know how it appears and how it catapults itself into the person. And let's say that one person was overwhelmed by a certain negative emotion, that there was so many conflicting emotions in his life that suddenly he couldn't handle it, and that kicked off the diabetes. Now ask yourself why Tibetan monks in an official hospital in Tibet, official hospital, were actually managed to take away with official hospital machines, take away a malignant cancer on camera. You can see that on camera. Actually, Gregg Braden, very fantastic guy. He, a very, very smart, spiritual man, learned academic, geophysicist. You can see it on one of his videos. And I ask you, how would that be possible if there wasn't something real about all this? The spiritual is the core of everything. And you can maintain as much physical stamina as you want. But if the core is rotten, or the core is not right, or the core is not honest, and the core is not where it's supposed to be, the emotional reality, being honest about yourself, being honest and true to people, then all your physical stamina, all your medicine, all your fitness, everything is actually completely unnecessary and won't help at all. That is spiritual transformation, and I think it's very important. And I'm telling you that we're right now in a time of spiritual transformation, where connection is the most important thing. And the fact of the matter is that Gregg Braden, who I mention now and then, he said that he interviewed about 20, 30 old people, really, really old people, and asked them, how did you get so old? And independent of each other, these people said, I had a lot of love in my life, a lot of compassion for other people, and I had very little stress. And that is a spiritual form of transformation. Even Dalai Lama said, complicated philosophies and temples are not necessary. Every religion has one thing in common. They are filled with compassion. And compassion and love is the very most important thing in the whole world. That is spiritual transformation. And wash your hands. Be careful, be safe, be healthy during this time. And if you want, put on a mask. If you have to, put on a mask. But don't forget the spiritual transformation. Don't forget to be really honest about your feelings and try to make the best of every single situation. Go to bed and wake up with good thoughts. Make lists of good thoughts, of good things in your life. And you'll be surprised. You'll be so surprised that if you start making lists of good things in your life, you are going to be surprised how many good things you can think of. Even the completely basic things, like I had a nice breakfast, the sun is shining, I live in a peaceful country, I'm healthy, anything you can think of. I have a great wife, fantastic child. I laughed today. I felt good about taking a shower. I cooked a wonderful meal. I took a walk with my boyfriend. Anything, and that is actually the most important thing. So take care of yourself, be healthy, and remember, spiritual transformation, the spiritual core, that is the very, very most important thing. and try to mix that with what I said in the earlier video today, which is try to imagine a world beyond Corona. Imagine as if it had happened. As if it had happened. Corona has been healed. We are back into normality. See the headlines. See it on the news. See yourself sitting on the couch with your dear ones. See yourself on vacation to your favorite spot with a new job. Manifest that, because the spiritual reality, we live in a reflective reality, and the universe is one place, and there's one conscious energy flowing through everything. And that conscious, intelligent, we can call it the universe, we can call it God, we can call it Allah, we can call it Brahma, we could call it anything. But it's the same thing we're talking about. And it's flowing through you, through the vibrations in your subatomic particles. It's there. Every single cell in your body is a 1.4 volt battery. You are the boss of 500 trillion cells. So remember, don't forget the physical part of you, but remember the spiritual part of you is the core of everything, whatever you call it. Be really, 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 really happy that you are alive. Because the fact that you are here, if you take the way a baby is created, from the very moment that a sperm goes into the egg, you had a 1 in a billion chance of making it to your mother's egg. 1 in a billion. That's pretty good. So the fact that you're here is amazing. And every single part of your life is a challenge or a blessing. But you're here to experience new things. And a lot of people say, who are part of this spiritual transformation, they say that or who believe in this spiritual transformation, sorry, that was my sunglasses, they say that they came here, they believe that they came here into this life to be part of this time of spiritual transformation, where people start to be honest about their feelings and start to understand the background behind everything that happens in life. Because everything happens in life for a reason. There's nothing that is actually completely without a cause. Everything is cause and effect. And a lot of people that believe that they came into this life for whatever reason, reincarnated, believe that their soul decided to come here during this time because it was a time of spiritual transformation. And it's a journey, right? If you look at your life, try to look at your life, and that's part of the spiritual transformation. Try to look at your life and see if there are common denominators between all the different occurrences in your life. Have you done the same mistakes over and over again? Look behind the scenes. Don't look at your life as a person sitting in an audience watching a theater piece or a movie. Look what's happening behind the scenes. Look at what the stagehands of your life are doing, or what the author of your life have you been the author of your life? Is God the author of your life? Have you actually lived consciously when you stand on a beach looking at the sea? Do you do that consciously? When you eat, when you drink your wine or your bourbon, do you do that consciously? When you make love to your wife, do you do that with every quantum little subatomic particle? Do you blend with her to become one? That's a good question, isn't it? Live consciously. And remember, the core is the main thing. So, May the eternal intelligence that we call God bless every single part of your life.